Some stories are etched in stone, waiting centuries to be told. This is one of those stories, a tale of a long-dead king, a hidden tomb, and a deadly mystery. Our journey begins in Krakow, Poland, inside the magnificent Wawel Cathedral. Here lies King Casimir IV Jagiellon, one of Poland's most influential rulers. He reigned from 1447 to 1492, shaping the future of Eastern Europe. Casimir was a patron of the arts, a shrewd leader, and a man of deep faith and superstition. Upon his death, he was laid to rest in the Holy Cross Chapel, a place of honor and legend. Some whispered his tomb was protected by an ancient force, a curse for any who dared disturb him. The cathedral itself is a character, Gothic spires, stained glass windows, and centuries of history echoing in its halls. For 500 years, Casimir's tomb sat undisturbed, its secrets locked away. But this isn't just a story about opening a tomb. It's about what happens when modern science collides with ancient legend. In the 1970s, a team of scientists set out to study the king's remains, seeking knowledge, not curses. They believed in reason, not superstition. But what they found inside would challenge everything they thought they knew. A series of strange, tragic events would follow. Events still debated today. Was it science or something else entirely? Let's find out. The line between history and legend is thin here. And sometimes the past refuses to stay buried. This is the story of the king in the cathedral. Every great expedition starts with a legend, and Casimir's tomb was shrouded in them. For centuries, people whispered of a curse, a warning from the king himself. Anyone who disturbed his rest, it was said, would face a terrible fate. This wasn't just a campfire tale. It was a belief woven into the fabric of Krakow. The tomb, made of red marble, was both beautiful and forbidding. For 500 years, no one dared test the legend. In the 15th century, tomb robbing was common, and a curse was the ultimate deterrent. Whether Casimir believed in it or not, he understood fear's power. The legend grew, becoming part of the cathedral's story. On one side, a sealed tomb, a time capsule of a legendary king. On the other, a chilling story of a deadly curse. For centuries, the legend kept the tomb closed. But by the 1970s, science and reason reigned. A team of researchers decided to face the legend and see what was inside. They were about to step into the unknown. The stage was set: history versus superstition. Would the curse hold, or would science prevail? The world was about to find out. The tomb secrets were waiting, and the legend was about to be put to the test. Sometimes the greatest discoveries come with the greatest risks. The seal was about to be broken. In 1973, a team of Polish scientists received permission to open King Casimir's tomb. Their mission? Study the king's remains and preserve the tomb's contents. The team, experts in their fields, brought modern tools into the ancient chapel. Scaffolding surrounded the red marble sarcophagus. Anticipation filled the air. The scientists knew the legends, but dismissed them as folklore. Their focus was on carefully lifting the heavy marble lid. After days of preparation, the moment arrived. The lid was raised, releasing a wave of musty, pungent air, centuries of decay unleashed. Inside, the scene was grim. The king's coffin had disintegrated, his royal robes turned to dust. The reality was stark, a powerful reminder of mortality. Yet the team pressed on, documenting every detail. They felt triumphant, believing they had conquered superstition with science. But as they worked in the damp, dark chamber, they had no idea what they had truly unleashed. The story was far from over. The most mysterious and terrifying chapter was about to begin. The curse, it seemed, was patient. The tomb's secrets were now in the hands of the living, and the consequences would soon follow. Sometimes opening the past comes at a price. The team had crossed the threshold. What they found would haunt them. The legend was about to become reality. Science had breached the crypt, but at what cost? The answer would soon reveal itself. The king's rest had been disturbed. With the tomb open, the team sifted through centuries of decay. The king's skeleton, stained by time, was carefully collected for study. These bones offered a direct link to a man from 5 centuries past. Amidst the rot remnants of royal power emerged a leather sword, a golden scepter, and a simple funeral crown. The scepter, still gleaming, symbolized Casimir's reign. The crown, made of wood and gilded leather, was a powerful symbol of his final journey. Each artifact was fragile, a puzzle piece of history. The team handled them with care, documenting every find the tomb had yielded its treasures, both historical and material. The initial phase was a success. The king's skeleton scepter, sword, and crown were recovered. The artifacts went to laboratories, the bones to analysis. The scientists were celebrated for their work. But as excitement faded, unease grew. The tomb had been opened, and soon whispers of the curse would return. The line between triumph and tragedy was thin. The past had been disturbed, and the consequences were about to unfold. Sometimes history's greatest prizes come with a hidden cost. The king's secrets were out, but so was something else. The thrill of discovery quickly turned to dread. Days after the tomb was opened, team members began to fall ill. Felix Danczak, a lead architect, died suddenly of a cerebral hemorrhage. At first it seemed a tragic coincidence, but then more deaths followed strokes. Heart attacks, rare cancers. Over the next decade, around 15 people connected to the tomb's opening died. The victims were not just elderly, many were healthy in their prime. The media seized on the story, reviving the legend of the curse. Was King Casimir reaching from beyond the grave? Fear spread among the surviving scientists. They were men of logic, but the pattern was hard to ignore. The project, once a triumph, was now tainted by tragedy. The public was convinced the curse was real. The church watched in silence. The scientific community searched for answers. There had to be a rational explanation. But the shadow of the tomb loomed large. The line between legend and reality had blurred. The search for the truth was just beginning. Was as deaths mounted, the scientists turned to the tomb for answers. The conditions inside humidity, decay, and a pungent smell were perfect for something deadly. Microbiologist Dr. Boleslaw Smick had already begun investigating. He discovered several species of fungi, including Aspergillus flavus. This mold produces aflatoxins, some of the most carcinogenic substances known. When the tomb was opened, a cloud of toxic spores was released. The team had inhaled a lethal dose. Aflatoxin poisoning could explain the cancers and organ failures. Basic dust masks offered no protection against microscopic spores. The curse, it turned out, was biological, not supernatural. This discovery changed archaeology forever. Future expeditions would require strict safety protocols. The tragedy at Casimir's tomb became a vital lesson. Sometimes the deadliest threats are invisible. The real danger had been waiting in the dark all along. While scientists pointed to toxic mold, the public clung to the legend. The story was irresistible. A king's curse, a string of mysterious deaths. Newspapers ran wild, people whispered of supernatural revenge. The sheer number and timing of deaths fueled belief in the curse. Some argued the curse was selective, choosing its victims. The church took the event seriously, lending weight to the supernatural view. The debate became a cultural moment. Science versus legend. Was it mold or a vengeful spirit? The story forced people to confront what they truly believed. The curse of King Casimir became a modern fable. History, science, and folklore collided in Krakow, and the legend lived on. Casimir's story echoes a global tradition of tomb curses. The most famous, the Curse of the Pharaohs after Tutankhamun's tomb, was opened in 1922. Both cases involved sealed tombs, ancient legends, and mysterious deaths. Scientists later found dangerous molds in both tombs. But the Polish case had a higher, more direct death toll among the Courtine. The scientific explanation, deadly fungus, was more compelling in Krakow. These stories tap into a universal fear. Disturbing the dead tombs are sacred. And the curse narrative warns us to respect that boundary. Whether the threat is supernatural or biological, the message is clear. Some doors are best left unopened. The legend of Casimir's curse is a modern chapter in an ancient story. Today, King Casimir's tomb is sealed once more. After tragedy struck, his remains were returned with full ceremony. The scientific community accepts the toxic fungus theory. Aspergillus flavus and its deadly aflatoxins offer a rational explanation. For many, the case is closed. A tragedy of biology, not black magic. Yet whispers of the curse persist. Some say the fungus theory is too convenient. Why did only some fall ill? Was it really just coincidence? The legend offers a simpler answer. The king's will, we stand at a crossroads. Science on one side, legend on the other. Was it mycotoxin poisoning or a king's final act of vengeance? The tomb's secrets are locked away once more. When we open the doors to the past, we must be ready for what comes out.